Okay guys, I have here a Korg Kronos 61 key, the latest one, the Korg Kronos 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install a new two hard drives, one as the primary hard drive and the other one as a secondary, and they're both around 250 gigabytes, better quality SSD drives. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off all the screws that you see except for the where the feet are. See those feet? Those are gonna stay there. You're not gonna take nothing off. So just the screws that you see all around the keyboard, those are gonna be taken off, and then we're just gonna pop the back off, pop the cover off of it, and then go from there. Okay, so this is inside a Korg Kronos 2 61 key version, and right here is where you see the SATA cable for the SSD, and that's right here is the hard drive, and this already has the cable to plug into a secondary, but you need another SATA cable. So pretty much the other SATA cable is going to connect into there. So as you notice right there, it says SATA 1, and then the other one has it's hard to see, but I believe it's SATA 0. So anyways, if it's SATA 0, the new plug, the new SATA cable is going to connect there, and it's going to run all the way across and connect into the original one or the other drive that you put in, so that way the keyboard recognizes it as the boot drive. So that's pretty much it. And right here you see your memory. That's the RAM memory. It looks like a 4 gig stick. Zoom in. So it's 4 gig stick, PC3-12800S, in case you need to get another RAM stick for some reason. But anyways, it has 2 slots, so you could probably put 2 gigs on each slot. And that's pretty much it. That's how it looks inside a Korg Kronos. Okay, so I'm going to remove the hard drive, and as you notice, there's one bolt there, one bolt on the down here. There's 2 on each side, so as you can see, and we're just going to take that off, and then we're going to take the cables off as soon as we get it out. Okay, so here's the hard drive. As you can see, it's just a generic type hard drive. It should be a 62 gigabyte model, and that's the average size on the Korg Kronos 2. So anyways, this is the hard drive. I'm gonna replace it with a good, better quality Samsung Evo SSD drive. And when taking it out, the screws, you might need a little tweezers to make sure that the screws don't fall, because you know they're so small, they tend to fall down, and then so you might need tweezers to grab them before they fall. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so pretty much what I'm doing is I have the original drive right here, and then the new Samsung hard drive that I'm going to install in the Kronos on the other one. Okay, so I installed the new drive in there. It's a Samsung Evo 850. It's a 250 gigabyte, and I also installed another cable because I'm going to install this another 240 gigabyte solid state drive. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Right now I'm just going to flip it over. I want to make sure that it boots up correctly. This hard drive is the one I just copied directly on the PC. So I pretty much just cloned the drive, installed it in here. On this one, on this drive right here, I didn't use the DVD restore disc that came with the drive, just because it's faster to do it on cloning the drive on the computer. So that's what I did on this one. On another video, I had another hard drive that I was reformatting, and it was doing it on the Korg Kronos on this one, and also it took about an hour to complete, and I was asking for public ID. But once I do the clone, it shouldn't ask for no public ID. It should boot up right away with all this original stuff that was on the other hard drive, original hard drive. As you noticed here, I put a few screws down in it, up where the keyboard area is at, that's really all I want to do, because I'm just going to turn it around. I'm going to power it up. But I put the screws here because I don't want the keyboard to be moving around. If you don't put screws there, the keyboard section over here starts moving around, and I don't want it to be moving out of place or anything. So that's all I'm going to do. Just put a few screws there just to be able to turn it over and turn it on. Okay, so I got a system startup failed on my Korg Kronos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect I got a DVD here with the first DVD that came with the Kronos for restore. So pretty much when you turn the Kronos on, that message comes on. So I'm going to see if I can just reformat the drive using the DVD, and it should give me some options. Okay, so now I turned the keyboard off and I installed that first DVD and that installer version 3.0.4, and it says the disk is not formatted. So I'm going to push enter, and I'm going to try to see if I can reformat it and get everything on there the way it was originally. So right now it says partitioning the disk. Okay, so right here, after it said partitioning the hard drive, and then it said reformatting, it says installing system files. So at this point, it's, I believe, installing the files on the hard drive, and then we'll see what it does from there. Okay, so now it said installing sound files. So it looks like it's working. It looks like it's reformatting and putting everything on the hard drive as its original state, from like the way it came from the factory. Now it says installing PCM bank 621. Okay, so it's still loading. It's still on that same PCM bank 621. It's taken a while, but these are the 3 DVDs that it came with the Kronos, so I'm not sure how many of the DVDs I have to install. I'm not sure if it's just the first 2 or the first one, but we'll find out. So right now it's just installing everything back onto the hard drive, and let's hope that it works, because it looks like it's stuck there, but it could be just a long process. Okay, so right here it got to the point where it's asking me to insert the second DVD and press enter. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the second DVD that it came with, and I'm going to insert it in the DVD player and then go from there. Okay, that says DVD número 2, number 2 DVD. Okay, so then it says to press enter. Okay, so I just pressed enter, and now it took me to where it's installing the rest of the banks. So I don't know how long it's going to take. So far it's taken a little bit over 30 minutes. So if you're going to do reformatting the whole hard drive again and all that, so expect to take up to 45 minutes for it to complete the whole process. It does take a long time. So anyways, that's part of the process if you want to fix your Kronos or change out the hard drive. Okay, I got DVD number 3, accessory disc 3, and I'm gonna go ahead and close it, and then it's gonna say to press enter, and then I'm just gonna press enter. Okay, and it's ready to go. Okay, so right here it got to the point where it says verifying initialization or installation. So it's just verifying, and hopefully it goes on from there. Okay, so it just finished installing, and it says installation completed. Please remove installation media and power down the system. Okay, so I just powered up the keyboard. So right here it says please write down the public ID shown below and then go to Korg.com Kronos. If you cannot access the internet, please contact your local, follow the website instructions or reauthorization file, and copy it to a USB device. So that's pretty much it. Right now it's giving me my public ID for this keyboard. So all I have to do is go authorize it online and get the authorization file, and then I can install it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to that website they did. I'm gonna pretty much just register my Korg Kronos, and then, you know, the public ID is different for all the keyboards, so it really doesn't matter. Mine won't work for yours, so you're gonna have to write your public ID number and register it, and then Korg is gonna send you authorization numbers, so you can authorize the expansions, the piano expansions and all that came with it. So my number is not going to work, of course, for yours, so they're all different. So anyways, that's the last step of this. Pretty much go register it, get the authorization file. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to use a USB to plug it in, and then it'll authorize it for me. Okay, so the system just booted up without me having to authorize anything. So that's kind of weird, but anyways, I didn't have to put in the USB just yet. So when I go into my disk, I go into media. Right there is gonna say I got 204 or 227 gigabytes. So it's using the new, you know, the new hard drive that as the primary, and I didn't test the boot speed, but I'm gonna test the boot speed. I'm gonna time it in a little bit, and so there you go. There's 227 gigs out of 250 gigs. I'm gonna go to my global options info, and they're authorized already. The expansions are already authorized, and it has the 3 gigs, 3.0.4. So everything's good. Now I'm just gonna close up the unit. I might just install the secondary drive in there, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so here's my Korg Kronos 2. This is the 73 key version. I installed the secondary drive on this one, and pretty much it's the same as the Korg Kronos 261 key. A little different because the ports and everything where these are located on the 61, it's a lot easier to get to. This one, this key bed is in the way of getting to the second port, so I had to, you know, unbolt these. I had to move it back, the bar, and you have to move the key bed back a little bit so that way you can snap that cable in there. And if you notice, it's a 90-degree angle cable that has to go there. Otherwise, if you put a straight one in there, it's gonna hit the keys and you're gonna hear the noise. You're gonna feel it when you're playing. You feel it hitting something against the cable. But once I put it the right way with the 90-degree angle, it worked fine. You didn't feel anything else. So that's pretty much it. So I just installed the secondary drive on this one, and on the 61 key I used a 250 gigabyte Samsung for the primary drive. So it looks like it's working good. It booted up in about, I guess, 10 seconds. So versus the original factory one. So it booted about 10 seconds faster than the factory one. Okay, so this is it. This is all I want to show you. Just a 73 key version of it and the 61 key version that I just showed you a little while ago.